What is up, YT? It's Andy Brown DT. Welcome back. Today we have the update from a few days ago. This is going up on Wednesday. The update was on Friday. I'm sorry I'm late. I was not home, but I did just want to let you know. But anyways, a lot of changes today. Let's get right into it. Coming up first, we have the long overdue, in my opinion, Shohei Ohtani. I don't know how this guy hasn't been diamond yet, but he finally hit it. So for his pitching stats, his hits per 9 went up from 99 to 102, so a +3 jump. Walks went from 38 to 42, which is kind of interesting because it's really low, but it did go up +4. And then for his hitting, his contact actually versus righties went down a little bit, but his lefties did go up 8. His power versus righties and power versus lefties both went up 5 and 11, which I think is obviously deserved. The dude is, I think, very close to leading the AL in home runs or even the whole league. His vision went down a small amount and his discipline did go up. So overall, you can see how this guy went up. He's deserved it for a while. I don't know how he hasn't been diamond yet, but a long overdue diamond has finally hit it. Coming up second, as much as it does pain me to say this, I was wrong about him going up. He got a +2 boost, but Jose Altuve, one of 2 asterisks that actually did go up this Friday. As much as I do hate Altuve, he is having a great year even without the buzzer. And unfortunately, it pains me to say this, but he actually does deserve it, especially because the Astros are still, I think, in first place and even the AL. And, I mean, as far as I know, they're not cheating this year. But anyways, Altuve, his contact from lefties went up from a 90 to 93, so a little boost there. Power versus righties went up 17, so a big jump there. Power versus lefties did go down a little bit, but I think the power versus righties really cancels that out. His vision also went down, but his discipline went up the same amount that his vision went down, so that kind of cancels out. Honestly, very surprised he did get a +2 boost. I thought he would only get a +1 this one, maybe a +1 the next one to hit him to 85, but he got a +2 this one. So Jose Altuve is a diamond. And coming up third for our golds to diamonds, I had to get the other asterisk over with because it pains me to do it, but Carlos Correa, pretty similar to Jose Altuve. I guess he does deserve it. I mean, the Astros are playing out of their mind this year. They're actually looking like a contender, even though nobody saw that coming. But anyways, Correa has been having a great year over at shortstop. His contact versus righties went up 12. From 60 to 72. His power versus righties also went from 80 to 85, so a +5 boost there. And his discipline went up 15 from a 70 to 85. So big jumps for this guy. I guess deserved. It pains me to do it, but deserved. And now we've gotten through the 2 asterisks. Alright, so coming up fourth, we have the player of the month from May, Marcus Semien. So obviously, like I said about my investing videos, this guy has just continued his absolute reign of terror that he's having this year. But he deservingly went to diamond this last update. His contact versus righties actually went down from a 77 to 71, but his contact versus lefties went from a 62 to 70, so those are pretty balanced out. No, not a big change there. But his power righties went up 4 from an 80 to 84. Power versus lefties also went up from a 70 to 73, and his vision did go up 1. So the dude's just been bombing balls this year, and that's what he needed to help boost him up to diamond. It's awesome watching this guy play, and I'm glad he's diamond. Up next, we have our first full-time pitcher from the Philadelphia Phillies, Zack Wheeler. This guy's having an absolute career year. Not a ton of changes for him, actually. His hits only went from an 82 to 83. His strikeouts went from 68 to 70, and his walks went from a 74 to 75. So not a bunch of stat changes, but this guy was at an 84, so all he needed was a +1, which I guess this did for him. Another guy that definitely deserved it, he got a smaller player of the month card last month as well. And I think a lot of people saw this coming for a while, even for the last few updates, but it finally happened. So Zack Wheeler is finally a diamond. And up 6, we have another full-time pitcher. Love saying this guy's name, Carlos Rodon. Unfortunately, this guy did no-hit the Indians, but I gotta give him credit. He is one of the nastiest pitchers I've ever seen. And this guy actually did get a ton of attribute upgrades. So his hits went from an 88 to 92. Strikeouts went from 79 to 82. Walks went from a 62 to 65. Nothing too big there, but then we get to his control. It went from a 43 to 72, which is a huge jump, +29. And then this one is just crazy to me. Velocity went from a 0 to a 78. I don't know how it was even at 0, but it got a +78. I don't know if that was a glitch or something, but he got a +78 boost for that. And his break also was at a 13 somehow, and it went to an 89. So I think those are honestly glitches or something, but he had a ton of stats go up and a ton of stats go up a lot. Much deserved for this guy. He's been pitching out of his mind this year. He definitely deserves to be a diamond, and I could see him even climbing up higher. And for our final pitcher and first relief pitcher of the video, Craig Kimbrel, I think everybody saw this guy going up. I mean, last year he did kind of have a down year, but this year he is back to where he has been, to who he was with the Red Sox. So actually not a ton of upgrades for him. His hits went from 109 to 111, strikeouts from 102 to 105, and walks from 43 to 49. I think it's interesting how his hits and strikeouts went up when they're already really high, but he obviously does deserve it because he's just nasty like that. But yeah, another guy that I think a lot of people saw. This guy's obviously one of the best relief pitchers in the game when he's healthy, when he's on. And this year he is on, so any hitters that face him, good luck to you. But obviously this guy would have already been diamond if it wasn't for his last few years. And I can only see him going up from here. And into our final three players that went to diamond, we have Ramon Laureano from the Oakland Athletics. That team is just so underrated this year. I swear nobody talks about them, but they're having a great season. Sleeper team. They're going to go far. Anyways, he's one of the studs of the team this year. His contact versus lefties went from a 93 to 95. Power versus righties went from 80 to 85. Power versus lefties did go down from a 75 to 71, but his discipline did go up 5, so it cancels that out sort of. This guy actually I did not see going up. I mean, it could just be because I really don't hear about the Athletics that much, but I really didn't even think this guy had a chance at going up. But he is having a great year. I'm not taking that away from him. I think he does actually deserve it, and I'm shocked I didn't see anybody talking about him. But definitely a great player, definitely deserves it. I also think his card is pretty interesting because the power for one is very good and the contact for lefties or righties is very good. So it's kind of like the opposite for both. But anyways, a great card, great player. Definitely deserves to be diamond. Coming up second to last, we have one of two Martes that did go up. And first up, we have Starling Marte. His contact versus righties went from an 83 to 88. His contact versus lefties also went up 5, went from 75 to 80. His power from lefties actually went down a little bit, but he's not really a power hitter. He's more of a contact hitter, so that really doesn't matter. And his discipline did go from a 63 to 78, which is a pretty big jump, plus 15 there. This guy definitely deserves it. He's been playing great this year. Back to what he used to be, like with the Pirates and Diamondbacks. He's playing really good, really under the radar this year. I definitely think he deserves it. He's a great contact hitter, pretty good fielder, and he's helping the Marlins be the team that they are. And finally, we have the other Marte, Ketel Marte. This guy's also having a great year. His contact versus righties went from a 78 to 84. Contact versus lefties went up 10, 102 to 112. So he's just hitting lefties really good, and it's just going to keep getting better. Power versus righties went from 52 to 48, so that went down a little bit. But the discipline from 55 to 59 helped him out, canceled that out. He's another guy who's having a really under-the-radar year and definitely deserves to be a diamond. And I think it's pretty interesting that both the Martes went up this update. But both are very deserving players. And that's going to be it.